Hey, Smugred again here. I'm sitting here in wifey's Kia, and everyone's had that experience where you take your car into the shop, and whatever the particular problem you are having, they can't find a darn thing wrong with it. Well, here's what can happen, because I had this one do the same thing to me in regards to the switches on the steering column, of which there's a pile of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 possibilities of switches, and basically none of them were working. I mean, occasionally the radio would work, but it hasn't worked in quite a while. So anyhow, I went in to fix it, to do a video about this, and this is the third take because the first time the phone died when I was doing this part. So anyhow, I was all ready to go to my buddy's place where he's scrapping one of these cars and yank out the steering column and just use the big shotgun. Just figure, whatever's wrong with it, that'll take care of it. But he wasn't there. So I decided, well, I got some time to kill. Why don't I just pull out the factory manual and figure out what needs fixed on this thing? Well, being a Kia, which is a great car for a mechanic, but an awful car for a technician, there is no simple troubleshooting tree that tells you what steps to take and what part to replace. So rather than that, I had to go old school, but they did provide a pinout of the steering column switches with a description of what they did and the resistance values so that you can test the actual switch. And for someone who knows their electronics, that's everything you need right there. And by using a scope rather than a voltmeter or a test light, you can kill two birds with one stone and figure out if your problem is a switch or an open power or ground. So anyways, this is what I pulled out of my pulled off my laptop, and as it turned out, saved myself a big hassle. Well, that was interesting. For some reason my phone shut off. But anyways, each individual button that you push connects a particular resistor to a voltage source that can be either in the body control module, it can be in the ECM, or it can even be in the radio. And what happens when you change these fixed resistance values is it sends a particular voltage out to the component so it can know what function you're actually asking for. So it takes very few wires to actually accomplish this. Well, anyways, in the process of checking it out, and rather than unplugging it and doing a resistance check, I chose instead to hook up my scope to it and hooked it across the positive and negative signal lines and started pushing buttons, and lo and behold, the voltage was changing in even steps from 0 in the cancel position on the cruise all the way up to full voltage, which I don't recall exactly what it was, but that was in the on-off position, and the resume and set were at various intervals down the level of the scope. So it's working. So I pulled the airbag module out of the way so I could see the dash, and sure enough, the cruise control light on the dash was coming on. Then I tried the radio controls, and now I can control the radio. So what happened? Well, in the process of back probing and unplugging and plugging in connectors, I had managed to disturb a poor connection. So what I did was I took the connections apart, sprayed them with WD-40, and most penetrating light oils like that are great for stuff like this where you have little tiny pins that don't have a lot of surface area. Plugged it all back together and now it's working. And saved myself probably a couple hours of toil. So there you have it.